Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Talitha Cumi and welcome to the IAM Talitha Cumi Show. As you can see, we have a bit of a different background, the background that we use for our movie review. But today I actually want to bring you guys a treat. I want to do a clip reel of some of my favorite shows with some of my favorite guests and a couple of music artists.
I feel like I've been on this journey my whole life because it started with my name, Talitha Cumi, which literally means little girl wake up. And I can't say it's been easy. There's been a lot of bumps and bruises along the way, but I believe life is all in your decision making. The I Am Talitha Cumi Show is a combination of things that I love to talk about, and I want to enlighten you, encourage you, and inspire you to be the best you can be with some help from me and my guests. Let's talk about it.
What's poppin', buddy? See, I got the leftovers from Auntie. Let's go ahead and crack these damn leftovers and make it good. It's a rib slider.
And we are live here at the Botham Jean Foundation Gala event, you guys.
Did you know that the real New Year is not on January 1st? It's on March 20th. So the real New Year's Eve is March 19th, with New Year's Day being March 20th. So you guys don't worry if you haven't kept up your New Year's resolutions because you still have a little bit of time. So is there anything that I left?
No, other than my name is pronounced Georgia.
Georgia, I was pronouncing that all wrong. Georgia Nay. My bad. I hate when people pronounce my name wrong too.
Tappity Kuma.
Why are some so bad at communicating in relationships? Is it because they are talking and not listening, or just don't have good comprehension skills?
Yes.
Okay.
Easy answer, yes.
Okay.
The communication is a deep concept
Okay.
that we don't really understand. And so our ignorance is really the issue, not really the fact that we don't know how to,
Okay.
right? Communication is something you have to learn to do. We all learn to talk, right?
Yes.
Because it's our nature to pick it up. It's like we pick up words, we pick up language, but communicating is a deeper concept.
How many people do you think can benefit from a life coach, or like what type of people do you think benefit from life coaches?
So I honestly believe, and I like to compare coaching to just coaches like athletes, right? The greatest athletes had a coach. And so anytime that you want to be great at something, you need someone to be able to bring out the full potential and not just tell you have great potential, but actually teach you how to reach your full potential.
How hard is it dating as a single person nowadays? How hard do you think it is?
I'm gonna say it's very hard for 500 Alex,
Okay.
but I think it's more scary because people aren't in a healed place. People aren't being their authentic self, and they're so used to doing things how they've been doing them that they're not realizing that this isn't healthy.
Baby, I'm so tempted, so I gotta do the right thing.
So my husband Bobby and I, we do movie reviews on the show, and we started doing them in 2020 during the pandemic. We really wanted to highlight a lot of upcoming filmmakers, but a lot of the movies that we see on Tubi tend to have like the same storylines. So do you guys think that it is because that is what's selling, or that we are not diverse enough in our storytelling? I'm going to start with you, Bobby.
It's not that we're not diverse in our storytelling. It's people talk about what they know.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to go make a movie about, to say, cowboys and Indians. I don't know nothing about cowboys and Indians.
Okay.
But if you tell me if I want to make a movie about the struggle or the street life, then if that's what I know.
Okay.
It's not what they're selling. It's that people have their interpretation of that story life. So people are going to talk about what they know first.
Even in Hollywood, though, let's talk
Same
about it.
storylines,
It's
yeah.
the same storylines, just told a little bit different.
We tell the stories that we're familiar with.
Okay.
You know, I do try to break out, and I have broken out, but still, those are stories that I have researched and or experienced or, in some way they've impacted my life. That's where the stories come from. I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You have to be inspired by something. So it doesn't matter what stories we tell. We need to tell our own stories and understand who we are ourselves, period.
Okay.
Because self-love and self-respect and all of that starts with who we are and how we see ourselves.
Okay.
I mean, if I would have listened to the folks that told me I couldn't start a Black film festival because I'm a Black girl and there's not enough room and and all of that extra stuff, I would have never started it.
Well, back in the era, probably like all the way up to the 70s, I feel like the artists were really singing about things that were going on in their communities, like you said before. And I love that. But what I want to ask you is, when you think back to then and then you come fast forward to now, when do you think music changed? When do you think music changed, and why did it change? What did we do, or what happened to make it go from, we're talking about politics and what's going on with the war and different things like that, and now we're talking about shoes and shooting up people? Like, what the heck? What happened?
Well, actually, what happened is culture.
Okay.
The culture changed and the music changed, because the music is a reflection of our times.
Right.
So, like in slavery days, they would sing songs like, what was that song my teacher taught me? My Lord, will we meet in the evening? They had a certain time that they would meet, and they would disguise it in the songs by singing, letting everybody know we're going to meet in the evening when the devil won't do us no harm, right?
Okay.
And so then as we came up into the blues era of my parents, it was like they had left the South, and it was a different thing. It was the dice shooting days and all that. So they kind of sang about that particular culture. Now, coming along the 60s, when I was a teenager, that's when we were going through the revolution, quote unquote, politically and everything else, socially, Dr. Martin Luther King.
Yeah.
So we were singing songs like that. James Brown with his Say It Loud, I'm Black and I'm Proud and all that. And so today we come up, I remember when rap music first came out.
Yeah.
We had a record company in Chicago, and everyone said that rap was not going to make it. I said, it will make it. They said, why? I said, because it's the music of the young people.
Yes.
And then young people become older people, and they take that music with them.
Okay.
So when we look back, we're looking back at the music when we were young, and we're carrying it forward.
Okay.
But we now have a generation that's putting their stamp down, and then they will become the older adults, and they'll take that music forward.
But okay, so, and that's my question then. So I grew up when rap came out, right? And so you're trying to tell me that I'm going to be in my 60s and 70s playing my music forward and taking rap, and they're going to like, what is that, Grandma? Like, what do you,
You got to do it. To me, in my 75 years, the 50s were the best time for music ever.
Okay.
Because you had to be able to sing.
Yes, yes. I feel
so
that.
when you listen to the harmonies that they had, each one of those lead singers, they were gifted, and they went on to, become solo artists on their own, because you had to sing.
Yeah.
Before the day I met you, life was so unkind, but you're the key to my peace of mind, 'cause you make me feel, you make me feel, you make me feel like a natural woman. Whoa. Calling out around the world, are you ready for a brand new beat? The summer's here, the time is right for dancing in the street. We're dancing in Chicago, down in New Orleans, way up in New York City. All we need is music, sweet music. There'll be music everywhere. I got sunshine on a cloudy day. When it's cold outside, I got the month of May. Yeah. Oh, I guess you say, what can make me feel
we're discussing It Runs in the Family, and I wanted to end my theme of the family closing May out talking about some much needed dialogue about generational curses, genetic disease, and family trauma. And so Bobby and I did a show about generational curses probably a couple of years ago, and I'm wondering if they're really real, or should we be calling them generational curses? Should we be calling them something else? Or do you guys even believe in generational curses?
I look at it more so as generational habits.
Okay.
A lot of times
not
I
curses.
feel like when we put curses on it, it becomes a negative connotation. Now, of course, when you begin to talk about curses, that goes into a whole another demographic of what you believe in and what you practice and what you understand and study. But me personally, because I like to look deeper into things, what if it's just habits that you form or things that you were taught from your grandmother or great-grandmother or grandfather, so forth and so on, and those things or habits were just learned and passed down?
Mm-hmm. Do you think then the generational curses, generational habits kind of flow the same? They're kind of the same thing.
I think our people suffer from the lack of knowledge.
Okay. And it's because we're not telling them? Is that the lack of knowledge, or are we supposed to seek it out ourselves?
It starts with us. It starts with one person makes their choice to make a change with their children and their children's children. If I'm a single, young, unwed mother, I have a daughter at the age of 15. My daughter falls into the same pattern. Am I going to encourage her to do better by being accountable for the lifestyle that I have made her accustomed to?
But is it a genetic curse, or is it her watching you as a kid? So if I'm a single unwed mother and then I have my daughter who's watching me be a single unwed mother, then I don't have to really tell her anything. She's going to adapt. Okay, this is how I'm supposed to be.
Maybe. Because I feel like with our household, my mother was very open with her transition with drugs back in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
And so me and my brother, I have an older sister. Well, I had an older sister than my brother than myself. So we grew up in the household like we're never going to drink. We're never going to do drugs because we saw what it did and we didn't want to do it. But my sister was the opposite. She partook in it. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like it's a choice in that aspect. So maybe it's generational role models.
Does that make me crazy, crazy, crazy? Does that make me crazy? Does that make me crazy, crazy? Possibly.
Like, why are they leaving churches and leaving Jesus? They're talking about God. We hear them. Hey, I want to give honor and glory to God, and that's where they stop. So why do you guys think that they're not checking for him, and why? What is that all about? Bobby, I want to start with you first.
Same reason people aren't checking for McDonald's unless you're checking for it. We've gotten too fat. The church has just caused people just to kind of sit and not move. So this generation isn't hearing that.
So what we got to understand is anytime that we're not checking for Jesus, it's simply because we've been deceived.
Mm-hmm.
And anytime you've been deceived, you've been fed information that leads you away from truth, away from light. And so it's hard for somebody to check for something that they don't receive as truth or light.
Mm-hmm.
And so the reality becomes this, is that, to Bobby's point, leadership is going to have to turn the tide. The old way of doing church is dead. And we're going to have to embrace this new place that the body is in.
They're trying to live their best life. They've been deceived that you can live your best life now. There's no eternal perspective.
Okay.
They're living for the here and now.
Right.
They're not thinking about This is just a proving ground to determine where we're going to spend all of eternity.
Well, what type of performing artist would you say needs a manager? Like, are you, if say I want to be a performing artist, I want to sing, should I get a manager coming right out of the gate?
This is what I say. I always say that. That's a trick. That's a trick. That's a trick question.
Okay.
And that's real tricky. And the reason I say that is because my philosophy is build something first before you ask someone to help you build it bigger. Because what am I managing if we start off together and there's nothing? I always look at it like, okay, have you put the work in? Did you go in the studio? Did you find your own producers? If you're a writer, did you write it? Did you arrange it? Even if the song is not 100% completed, and you work yourself to the level of getting in the studio and getting the record recorded. So now when you come up on You and I, you have something that you can let us hear.
Okay, got it. Okay.
Then we can say, oh, okay, we interested in this or whatever. But when there's nothing, nothing from nothing leaves nothing.
Nothing, right.
But my heart starts beating triple times with thoughts of loving you on my mind. I can't figure out just what to do when the cause and cure is you. All you gotta do is say yes. All you gotta do is say yes. Don't deny what you feel. Let me undress you. Open up your mind, just rest. I'm about to let you know you made me so. All you gotta do is say yes.
I tell you I love you, but you don't believe it's true. More precious than silver, more precious than diamond rings, or anything that I could give you. It wouldn't mean a thing if you didn't have my love beside you there to get you through.
All so long for this night I pray that a star would guide you my way till shall we need a special day. Where's this ribbon in the sky for our love?
Say I will bless the Lord. Say bless the Lord. Bless the Lord at all times. Say it again, I will bless the Lord. Say bless the Lord. Bless the Lord at all times. Say bless the Lord, oh my soul and all that's within me. Bless his name. Say bless the Lord, oh my soul and all that's within me. Bless his name.
All right, y'all, here we go. When I'm lost and all alone, feeling like my strength is gone, with no friend to call my own, and no one to call on the phone.
Everybody clap your hands. Everybody clap your hands. Yeah. How to reach the masses, men of every birth, for an answer. Jesus gave the key, and I, if I be lifted up from the earth, will draw all men unto me. Clap your hands.
Yes, we're in here enjoying Naya.
yeah.
And we are back. If you just joined us, it is
My
your girl,
God.
Talitha Cumi, and I am here with my special guest, Aaron Arrington, and we are talking about gospel music. Play it because I wondered if, as gospel artists, sounding like the world with us, does that truly set us apart? Like, should we be
Of the world.
Should we be set apart? Because I found these artists searching on YouTube, and a fellow podcaster, she shared it because she was saying how she liked these artists, some of the gospel artists, because they did sound like secular artists, and it helped her transition from listening to secular music. She's like,
I am guilty.
done and who I've become. These hands are dirty. How dare I lift them up to the Holy One?
I don't think it's losing its way. I think it's finding a new way.
Okay.
So, I think even in my delivery, I don't want to come off as like if I was talking to my grandfather, because that's how, because I'm a seasoned saint, or I have a different background or a different outlook on gospel music. I think gospel music is an interpretation, as any music, to your life, your lifestyle.
Okay.
And I believe once you know who Christ is for yourself, then He will put you in the right. He will put you in the right platforms to listen to the right art.
People are starving. People are hungry. Well, how can that be when there's so much money? Everywhere I look, people want to be rich. Some people hate, and some people snitch.
And so what I want to ask you is, can you, from your vantage point or from what you've been through, can you talk about some of the things you think that a lot of artists should know if they plan to do anything in the arts full time? Not even just music, because you do spoken word. So what are some things that they should know coming into the gate that sometimes they just don't?
Well, I think the main thing that I try to share with the artists is it's all about your package and your purpose. If you don't know who you are, then it's going to be really hard for me as a promoter or an event coordinator to sell that. So just have a solid foundation, learn about the business just like you would anything else. This would be your craft. This would be your business. This would be your baby. So you need to be very well versed in contracts, negotiation. And if you're not, you should have someone that you trust. But I challenge all artists to learn about the business. I think it's something that makes you be a lot more aware. And no matter what you do in life, you should always know your stuff. Yeah.
There's so much more that I could do for you, yeah. But you just won't let me give you my love, boy. What is wrong with you? Don't you know when love calls, yeah, you better answer. You better answer. Drifting on a memory. There's no place I'd rather be than with you. Yeah, loving you.
I've been so many places in my life and time. I've sung a lot of songs. I've made some bad rhymes. Trash man didn't get my trash today. Oh, why? Because they want more pay. Buses on strike, they want a raise in fare, so they can help pollute the air.
You stay tuned in next week as we cross over into the 90s. I'm excited about that. That's when I was dancing. We'll talk to you guys later. See ya. Topic left behind, going nowhere, because I really want to talk about our kids and our teens in today's new norms. So, do you think that we are setting them up for success as parents, leaders, teachers, churches, citizens, or are we setting them up to fail?
That's a loaded question.
I know.
It really is. And again, this is just my personal take on from what I see. Organizations like ours, Project 150, and others that work with this population, we are absolutely setting them up for success. We are undoing what's been done, right? I think there's a lot of work to be done in the household
Okay.
You know, to make things a little bit easier for the organizations to help with maybe the financial aspect or just bridging the gap. We don't want to be the end all be all where we're almost raising these children. Right. We want to be a partner with the parent, if that makes sense. So I think it's a combination of, you know, we want to work with the household. What's going on in the household? What kind of help can we provide? Whether that's getting parents on board with education, financial literacy. How can we help you so that you can pay for things for your children?
Right.
Or what do we need to do better so that we're not seeing so many kids come through our services?
Absolutely. So it's really weird because it's almost like you are trying to set them up to where you don't have a lot of business, but then you have a lot of business because you're needed.
Right.
So
I
it's just
wish.
kind of yeah.
I always say, you know, I hope I'm out of a job someday.
Yeah.
You know, because then we've solved this problem and
Right.
we've helped. But the reality is we're opening a second location here in Las Vegas this summer.
Why do you think there's a slew of businesses in our communities like liquor stores and fast food restaurants? And would they not be there if we didn't patronize them? Like, I feel like they would not be there if we weren't going to liquor store every 5 minutes or if we weren't going to fast food restaurants.
So something that I also like to kind of illuminate is like the illusion of choice. Because a lot of times in like, you know, schools, like T1 schools and stuff like that, schools in these neighborhoods, they'll have like the My Plate chart of things that you can eat. This is what you need to eat to be healthy, right? And you'll see all of these different things that are displayed, but when you actually go out in the environment, this is not available.
Okay.
And then we go ahead and demoralize that community for not making better decisions when in actuality, that decision is not actually present here. I don't have another choice.
Do you think that there are more, or are there studies that show that there are more grocery stores in other communities than in our communities?
Absolutely.
And then
almost 2.5 times. It's crazy.
Do they think we don't have money, or like what the heck? Why would we not have grocery stores to go to?
A multi-leveled, so like deep. Like there's so many levels. So many levels to it, you know what I mean? But it definitely has to do with the majority of our neighborhoods having experienced redlining. So any businesses that come here don't see this as, you know what I mean, somewhere I want to invest. I don't think that it's, you know what I mean? I don't feel like I'm going to get the return on investment here if I go ahead and I put a grocery store here. But that's so much of that is intentional, because when you think about it and you go through the process, one thing I learned when building our urban farm, every single step of this process, I had to go through somebody. So for every liquor store, gas station, smoke shop, or whatever that's on the corner instead of a grocery store, instead of a library, there are people who we can hold accountable that are supposed to be representatives of our communities that we can say, hey, why is this getting passed? This is the 5th gas station in the month.
What made you choose music? You said that you were doing it for as long as you can remember, but what do you remember that made you say, man, music is that's what I have to do?
Right. Actually, it was being in the choir since I was a wee child. I've been singing, so I just learned how to, you know, stretch my voice and do different things, and then I got into production because I wanted to rap to some gospel music, but I didn't want to pay for beats, so I just started to learn, and then it just grew from there. And
so you taught yourself how to make beats?
Yeah, all from YouTube. So
Really?
I feel like it's the best education source.
Man, it really is.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm glad they're not charging yet.
You wanna be a superstar, just reach out, it ain't that far. Close your eyes, see what you think. Nothing silly about a dream. Wanna be a superstar, take that lead. Yeah. Nothing can stop me. Yeah, I'm very optimistic. Yeah, I think you missed it. Flipped a couple switches in my brain. Now I'm on again. You picking up the phone again. Man, I think I'm on to something. I'm looking at the wall.
A lot of women say that they can do everything on their own, and they've been doing things on their own because some have had to, of course. But what would you say to them as far as the dynamic that a healthy male relationship brings? Thump.
First of all, women are a special character, special creatures, man. They're extraordinary. They give birth. They give life.
Yeah.
So I do agree that women can handle, because women can turn a house into a home. So yeah, they can handle it if they need to, if they have to. A women's struggle is a little different than a man's struggle. A black man's struggle, we just trying to live. We just trying to survive.
Mm-hmm.
A woman's struggle is more emotional. So yeah, I believe a woman can definitely handle any and every situation, because they can adapt very well, where most men, we would kind of fold.
Okay.
We're not used to that. But it's nothing like a man to step into his position and to really just step into his role.
Why it starts with the head?
Yeah. Any last final words? Why does it start with the head?
No, the man was built to be the strong provider, leader.
Yes.
A disciplinary, teacher, educator, for the family, for the community, for the world. You hear it all the time. Behind every strong man is a great woman.
Yeah.
And I believe that wholeheartedly. We can't be all we can be into our best potential, if we don't have a strong woman behind us as well.
I'm a whole vibe. I'm about to go live. Especially if you're my type. Hey, so what y'all doing? Where y'all at? You should hurry up. It's about to get packed. I'm a whole vibe. Pull up on me. I'm about to go live. Oh, especially if you're my type. My type. So what y'all doing? Where y'all at? You should hurry up. It's about to get packed. Come my way all day, any day. Before last call. Come my way. Bring your faves. Come one, come all. Bring your soul tie. We can kick it all night. The official invite, yeah. I don't own the rights to this. I just own the rights to the vibe. I hope you guys enjoy. We up in here with all these beautiful artists and our queen up in here. We doing our thing. So I'm gonna give y'all some of this. It's my favorite song. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, my mind. Yeah, yeah, my mind. Yeah, yeah, my mind. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired. I'm tired of being tired. I'm tired. I just need some love. Tired of messing with these lames. I just need a thug. Won't you be my plug, ayy? You can make it one, ayy. We can start with a handshake. I just need more than a hug. Girls can't never say they want it. Girls can't never say how. Girls can't never say they need it. Girls can't never say no.
So what is considered a hit?
I always tell artists all the time, I don't decide what a hit is. The audience does. Your audience is going to tell you. What is it composed of? I feel like the basics, a catchy hook, a catchy beat, has to be received well. What makes them really like it? Is it relatable? Is it a tearjerker? What's going on? So it really just depends, because boom, 2008, Jasmine Sullivan came out with Bust the Windows Out, and
She did.
That was a new
busting
vibe.
windows, wasn't we?
That was a new vibe. I was like,
I was requesting that on karaoke a lot.
I'm like 14 years old. I don't know nothing about busting windows out of nobody's car. I'm not old enough to date nobody with a car, but I sang that song with my whole chest. So,
Just don't have too much fun without me. Don't have too much, don't have too much fun. Please don't forget about me. Try not to love no one. Try not to love no one.
But some people use it to make you do things.
Okay.
Like spend money.
Okay.
Or, because there's certain things that you can play in the club after a certain hour.
Okay.
that makes you want to buy vodka.
And you would know that.
And it's just, for all the years I did that.
Uh-huh.
I did the club thing for as many years I did the church thing.
Okay.
And music is used for the same purposes.
In both places?
In both
Wait
places.
a minute, put me on game.
To make people spend money.
Okay.
Objectively, it's the same. The frequencies work the same way.
Really?
Absolutely.
So you're telling me that there are certain songs in the club that make you want to buy vodka, and then in the church, my worship and praise is like, hey, give me them tithes.
So I don't go shooting where you wanna be. But you take the bullet, try to save me. I'm left to do make a bleed. There's a whole lot of love and wanna waste it. Like we be running them out and never made it. That's just too beautiful words, I wanna taste it. That's just too beautiful words, I wanna taste it.
What would you say the thinking is, the difference between the thinking in someone like a Oprah or Tyler, Warren Buffett, Elon Musk, people like that who are billionaires? What are things that they do versus somebody like me who may be living check to check? Can you think of some of the qualities that they have, or
There's a different thought process, and part of it is creating, producing, setting. People that have a lot of money are setting goals. They're making stuff happen. They have a vision. Most people that have money problems, they lack vision. They lack being able to see where they can be in 10, 15, 20 years. They lack the ability to look 20 years out and care deeply about 20 years out. That's what a lot of people face. Now, the difference in some of the people we're talking about, millionaires, billionaires, they can see possibilities. They can see different outcomes for themselves. They can see themselves at a different place tomorrow than where they are today. But for a lot of people, that's the first step, is stop thinking the way you've been thinking, because that's what's led you to where you are right now with money.
Okay.
You got to change that. So that would be the main thing, the main shift I had as far as, my thought process around money.
Tell us how you started out in music, specifically with your group Bridgewater.
Man, well, me and my husband, we met at a performing arts college. We both graduated, got our degrees in performing arts, and we started kind of messing around on music. My husband already did like R&B music and all that, and we would try to push that. And I just freestyled one day, and he was like, "Hey, this sounds kind of good." And so we just messed around and started opening up for shows, my friends, through parties, college parties. And I started opening up, and that turned into this Christina with a K thing. And
was it
that for a little while.
Was it always gospel, or was it secular at first?
It was secular. It was
Okay.
So Josh did R&B music clean. He wasn't cussing or talking about, relations all the time. But with me, it was secular, but it was clean. We didn't cuss. We opened up for Omarion, Marcus Houston, Duro, people like that. And so we were in those atmospheres, and it was cool. But we only did that for a few years, and then God transitioned us. We did a showcase for this big executive out of Nashville, and she asked 2 questions. She asked, were we married and were we Christian artists, because we weren't cussing. So we figured that was our answer to kind of transition and use our gifts for God. Yeah.
Really? Okay.
Forward in my focal growth through what I go through. Man can't say what's final, just let God promote you. Many lessons I've learned, many stripes that I've earned. Through it all, I've been diving into His word, finding peace in my storm.
Make sure you throw the word executive producer around a couple times too, because it lets people know that you know what you're talking about. They'll take us serious like a Cisco and Ebert.
Bobby.
Box office poster. Now I think we know what we're talking about now, you know what I mean? Box office.
Okay. Hey y'all, hey, it's your girl Talitha Cumi, and we are back with another pre-review. Pre-review. That's what Bobby calls them, pre-review. And so we saw, I was scrolling through Facebook and I saw this movie that was a movie that we should take a look at. I heard that it was really good. A friend of mine said that it was really good as well. And it is called Life Without Hope, starring Andre Fuller, Jordan Guyton, Erica Page, Black Child, Maurice Johnson, and then a couple of other people that I didn't really know. But what I really want to talk about is the fact that I swear that Columbus Short is in this movie. And I'm trying to figure out why his name is nowhere on the cast. Like nowhere. But I see pictures. And so I'm like, who the heck did he piss off to not even get a credit on the movie where we clearly see his face? So we just wanted to go off of the movie poster that we saw and kind of try and figure out what we think the movie is going to be about and by the title. And so I think that it's going to be about a drug dealer that is in the game and he wants to get out of the game but he can't. He has a love interest and his love interest is like, babe, I want you to go straight. And he's like, nah, I just need to, I grew up without nobody. I grew up without no role models and all that kind of stuff.
Bloods.
And
Right.
this is what this is what I gotta do.
Right.
And so I think that that's what the movie is about. And somebody's gonna die in the movie.
Okay.
Because it does have a gun in it. One of the posters had a gun in it.
Well, I think that the movie's basically going to be a whole tall glass of hot dog water based on the fact that they got Columbus Short wearing a lace front beard, trying to look like Andre, whatever his name is.
Andre Fuller.
Yeah, trying to look like Andre Fuller's beard. So they gave him one that they got from like Jenny's. And they glued it on his face. Now, if this movie is anything like his beard, I'm going to be mad pissed off.
They don't even know what Jenny's is, Bobby. Anyway, and you see that we are in our PJs because we're about to look at the movie. And I left my water over there, shoot. We're about to watch the movie and then we're going to come back and we're going to tell you how it is. Okay, I thought that was ginger water. So we're going to tell you how it is, or we're going to tell you if we were right. And then we're going to suggest it or not suggest it.
Uncancel Short whenever he starts wearing them lace fronts.
Facts. It looks crooked. This looks crooked.
It don't matter, the movie was crooked.
So we're back. I made a mistake. The reason why Columbus Short was not on the cast as the star of the movie is because I was looking at, I guess, Life Without Hope. There's a Life Without Hope, and then there's a Life Without Hope, the next chapter or something like that or whatever. So what we just watched was the next chapter. So it was not starring Andre Fuller. It was starring Columbus Short. And so he is on the credits for that. And the same lady, Erica, can't remember her last name, she was in it as well. And some of the other actors, I don't even know and really don't care because they were insignificant. But I'll let Bobby continue.
Ain't much to continue about other than the fact that I'm going to come right into it and let y'all know straight up, without wasting any more time, I'm going to let y'all write. This movie was some bullshit. I can't think of nothing worse that I've watched. When Jamie Foxx is hanging upside down in the last scene of Django and his balls is out, that may have been a little easier to watch than this. The R. Kelly sex tapes. The first one where we saw the chick get pissed on, a little easier to watch than this. Leaving my daughter in Texas was easier to do than stomaching the 2 hours that I threw away, squandered upon watching this movie.
He fell asleep.
I tried to fall asleep. I have a headache, and it got worse watching this movie. Outside of the countless stupid shift changes and Columbus Short's many beard changes, I don't understand why they decided every 2 weeks to give this scruffy sounding dude has some sort of medical issue or something with his voice, so I'm not gonna bust him up too bad about it, but his beard shifted so many times in the movie. It was almost like they were trying to show him as a different character at some points.
I don't even.
I don't think that this is a prayerful decision to make this film. You guys didn't consult the Lord at all. You just went about trying to do whatever you wanted to do amongst, the land or whatever. You didn't call nobody in the congregation. You didn't hop on the 3 o'clock prayer line. You didn't do any of those things before commencing to making this horrible ass film.
And I can see why.
Tubi, take this off. Take this on off, Tubi.
I can see why Columbus Short is canceled. He overacted in this movie. OMG. So I'm not sure.
It's not even that he's canceled. I think nobody ever got to really even meet Columbus Short because he's never really acted as himself. In this movie, it was like watching Jonathan Majors try to play Cuba Gooding Jr. acting like Denzel Washington on the set of Rock. I don't understand. It was a real shitty ass display, man. It was horrible, man.
It was pretty bad.
Get at your boy. Holler at us about this.
It was bad.
It was bad.
We're not gonna rate it because it's unrateable.
I'm not gonna. It's unrateable, man. Just like some movies that I had to say unrated.
Yeah.
This is an unrateable movie right here.
It's invisible. Maybe we should say that. I don't even. I'm sleepy. I'm tired. I'm done.
That movie was junk, dog. That movie was junk.
It's your girl Talitha Cumi. Hey y'all, hey. It's your girl Talitha Cumi, and we are here live with another movie review. As you can see, well actually you cannot see, but we tried something different today. We're actually doing our movie review in the morning so Bobby can look like he's rested. He was complaining last time about us doing it always late at night when he's sleepy. So hopefully you should see that his eyes are not red. And he has a little bit more energy. And you can see I'm all natural, had to throw some hair on, got my real glasses on, no makeup on. But we are doing this movie review because we want to give it to you and stay consistent in our reviews and make sure that we turn them out every week. So we had the chance to watch For the Love of Money, and actually it came out a couple of years. Well, yeah, it came out 2021, and I actually wanted to watch it when it came out in 2021. One of the main reasons was just because I knew Jason Mitchell was in it from The Chi and from Straight Outta Compton, and I think he's a really good actor, and so I wanted to kind of watch and see what he did in the movie because he just had gotten kind of let go from The Chi. So that was the reason why I really wanted to watch it. It wasn't a referral type of me looking at the internet and saying, oh, this is a good movie to watch, go watch it. So I wanted to watch it because it starred him, Cat Williams, and I'm a fan of Cat Williams, Carrie Hilson, Rotimi, I think that's how you pronounce his name, DC Youngfly, Lisa Ray McCoy, Keith Sweat, Jazzy Jade, I'm not sure who that is, Cedric Pendleton, and Ryan Francis. And so that was kind of the reason why I wanted to watch it. But yeah, y'all. So we got into the movie, and I will let Bobby talk about the first half of it because I think he was awake the first half of it. So what do you think about the storyline?
The storyline was not good to me.
Okay. Anything else, Bobby?
Not about the storyline, though.
Okay, what do you think about the acting?
I thought the acting was pretty great. I thought every actor on there was beautiful. It was great to me. Rotimi was a little bit overdone, but he's good.
Yeah.
Everybody except for the Overton looking bartender with the bad wig.
That's his hair.
That's a wig.
That's
Everybody was cool except for him to me. Like even DC Youngfly was cool.
Uh-huh. I thought that
my first time to find out what a Carrie Hilson was, because I don't listen to like singing music that much, unless it's from like the 80s. So I didn't know who that person was, but she's pretty cool. She's actually a really good actress.
Yeah, she did a good job. Keith Sweat even did a mediocre job. But what I did like, the storyline was different from what we see on for Tubi movies to me. So
would that be the storyline or the plot?
Even though, well, the storyline.
What did I not like? The writing?
The writing. The writing wasn't
storyline
great.
Was cool.
The writing was great, but the storyline or the plot was a little bit different. Even though the movie kind of took place in a club, it was a different spin on the reasons why. So sometimes the reasons why the movie or the storyline it happens is kind of cliche-ish, but this time the storyline was a little bit different, so I appreciated that. But I felt like the movie was all over the place.
It needed a little bit of glue.
Yeah, I felt like it was all over the place. It didn't really have, it didn't connect the dots well at all. It didn't connect the dots well, even though the actors were trying their best to move it along. It didn't connect. And also, I really don't like, this is for all you writers out there, if your flashbacks don't drive the story, there's no need for flashbacks, man, because the flashbacks that they had in this movie was stupid to me. They didn't make any sense. They kind of tried to tell you what the writer wanted you to know, but it still didn't make any sense. I think you could have done it a different way.
I felt like it was just like a collage of people excited because it had so many different like producers or whatever in the beginning of the movie. Yeah. I felt like it was a big collage of individual people excited that their individual person is doing well. Yeah. There was no cohesiveness to me. No. In this, it didn't seem to gel or make sense. They used way too many weird segues to kind of tell what this person was. Yeah. Like they didn't have any real. There was no glue. It was like the people that they had all these different groups that were together, and they saw their one actor. This person was with Carrie. This person was with Cat Williams. This person with these management companies. Right. And they were like just watching their own. They didn't widen the screen and look how this person looks with this person really. Whatever that part is called, I don't think they had that. So it just didn't seem to make the writing, which was a very good. Like they put a lot of work into that. They put a lot of work into good actors, but they didn't put work into making it come together. I don't know how to explain that.
I can kind of see that because if you look at the movie, you'll see that the individual actors, it was when it was their time to be on screen, you saw them. It was almost like it starred them and the other people kind of got phased out versus it really being a collective cast coming together, an ensemble.
Yeah, it wasn't
cast.
that. It was like
Yes, it was almost like, okay, now starring Cat Williams, now it's my part.
Right.
Now starring DC Youngfly, now it's my part. Now starring Rotimi, now it's my part. And so it didn't come together well. The way they used Lisa Ray McCoy was kind of silly to me. It was like almost unnecessary.
And unbelievable.
It didn't have any. It didn't drive the story anywhere. It was just kind of like she was there, like, oh, let's put her in the movie. Oh, okay, let's make her do this. Okay, then cool. You know, so it just was lackluster.
To me, I'm sorry I had to say this really quick. I know this is your thing. I feel like watching stuff like this kind of hurts me, in a sense, because it feels like great practice, but I feel like the people that put these kind of projects on kind of waste that individual's magic at that time. Like you're not gonna be able to use. You'll see Cat Williams in this type of role in some other film, but when he originally did it, you wanted that to be, recognized as, man, this is a magical moment. He could have won an award if they would have made everything else come together in this movie because he was brilliant for what he did. You know what I'm saying?
He did a good job in the movie, and like I said, I'm a fan of him. But acting wise, I haven't seen a whole lot of stuff that he's done on the screen, but this one was a good depiction of.
He's always good to me. I've seen him in different roles where he just people just sleep on how great he is.
Yeah. And the one little twist or caveat or whatever you want to call it about the church that they threw in, very, very interesting. And so if you like any of these actors, you can go and watch the movie and then, kind of tell us what you think about it and see if we were right in our review of the movie. But that one little thing, very surprising, and it made you think.
That's what they did the whole movie for.
It made you think about the church and why the church is really here, or what the church has become over the years. So that was an interesting spin on what they said about it. But for me, I think that I'm gonna give the movie a 2. I'm gonna give it a 2, and the reason why I'm gonna give it a 2 that high is just because the acting was pretty spot on. None of the actors really lost me. I think that everybody did their part, even the bartender, you know, that Bobby said had the wig on. I've seen him in a couple other movies too. I think he did his part well, and yeah, so I'm gonna leave it a 2. For the Love of Money 2. What you give it?
I'll give it a 2 as well. The actors are beautiful.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just hate that they couldn't make it more cohesive for these actors to get the right shine.
Yeah.
But if you're looking at like individuals and you want to get like a small glimpse of how great individuals are, this movie's perfect for that.
Yeah, it is. Jason Mitchell, great job.
Jason Mitchell's great.
Yeah.
He's a great guy.
Great.
And I think they try to hold that dude a couple years ago on that funny stuff just because of how great he is.
Yeah.
So
that's quite
yeah.
possible.
Yeah.
We'll see you guys later. Peace.